Did we cover this?
We covered.
Oh,
Yeah.
we covered.
Yeah, start from the first line of the mantra.
सप्तहोतार ऋत्विजः सप्तहोतार ऋत्विजः देवा आदित्या ये सप्त तेभिः सोमाभिरक्षण इति तदप्याम्नायः.
No, hold on. We didn't cover this.
So sorry, I don't think we did.
Yeah.
And just the first two lines.
Sorry. Only we covered only the until 23, not Saptadishwanana Surya. Even that I have not covered
Explain
completely. So,
yeah, the last.
Yeah, Saptahotar finished until 23 only. Okay, just chant 23 one more time, please.
Amutretare tasmadihātaptritapaha teshāmesha bhavati saptasuryadivamanupravishtāha tānanveti patibhirdakshināvān te अस्मै सर्वे घृतमातपन्ति ऊर्जन्दुहाना अनपस्फुरन्त इति सप्तर्त्विजः सूर्या इत्याचार्याः तेषामेषा भवति सप्तदिशो नानासूर्याः.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Offering our collective love at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri 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 Satya Sai Baba Varu. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. We are studying the Surya Mandala mantras in Aruna Prashna, and in the last class we concluded with how the sun represents the supreme example of sacrifice or yagna, and in that context the 7 suryas are symbolically representative of the 7 ritvijas, the ritvijas that conduct a yagna. And last class I briefly explained who these 7 ritvijas are. You can take off sharing. I'll need to speak about. There's nothing there to show. Hota, Adhvaryu, Udgata, Brahmanachasmi, Vota, Neshta, Agnitra. These are the 7. You don't need to remember those. I have put them in the class notes, transcripts. So in the context of these 7, we talked about the symbolism of all the different 7s. The mantra before that, the same theme is continuing about the 7. So sun, so as Hota, sun as the invoker of life and the initiator of time. That is the cosmic symbolic meaning of Hota. And then Adhvaryu is the one who is the conductor, who is specifically operationally looking at performance of different rituals. In a similar way, sun as the one who creates the measure of time is the one that determines all the different timely activities symbolically in our lives. Udgata is the one who sings Samaveda, and the Samaveda represents the vibration in the atmosphere, the resonance and the energy, the harmonic resonance that is created by the balance between the prana and the apana that is internally symbolic meaning of who this Udgata is. Brahmana Chasmi is the one who ensures correctness and order in the conduction of a yagna physically, and in the context of the cosmic yagna, order of Rutus, everything is created by the sun himself, as we have been discussing in the Rutu Mandala. Pota means the one who is assisting in recitation of the hymns. Pota in the context of sun is the assister in a way of everything. Without the sun going down, then you will not have the ability to get prepared for the next day. So in all these things, Neshta as the nourisher, Agnidhra is the one who, Agnidhra in a regular meaning, is the one who maintains the sacred fire throughout the ritual. Sun as the one who is giving this life force and making sure that this life force is constantly operating within as the Hamsa, Soham, which when it flies away, the Deha has become ready for Dahana. Dahana means that which is burnt. Deha means that which is burnt. That's the ultimate step in life where the body is burnt. That which is burnt is Deha. That which burns is Dehi. That which is burnt. Sairam, please don't eat, drink, and listen to the classes. Thank you. So the one that is burnt is Deha. Dahim papadedi Deham. That which is, that's why Bhagavan has very beautifully said, Dehamu pancha bhautikam. Dehamu kula katappadappudun. Dehi niramayundu. Ganutimpaga దేహికి చావు పుట్టుకల మోహ నిబంధనల ముద్రలు లేవు. నిజంబు చూడను ఆ దేహియే దేవదేవుడు మదిన్ గణుతింపగను ఆత్మరూపుడై. How many times he chanted this poem? Because the biggest trap that we fall into is basically confusing the body with the indweller. This Dehi is the one that is the Atma itself. Always remember that the Dehi is permanent, Atma Rupudu, embodiment of Atma. And Deha is the one that is gone. So why I came into this? So in the Yajna, there is a Agnidhra, the one who maintains the fire in the ritual. So who maintains the fire? Who maintains the fire in our body? Huh? Who maintains the fire in our body and keeps it at a constant temperature of 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit? Who is that is doing? That is Agnidhra. And that is what is called Savit. The life-sustaining force within us is called, the life-sustaining force within us is called Savit. And that Savit means is the same Savit invoked in the Gayatri Mantra. Tat Saviturvarenyam. That divine, life-sustaining, resplendent effulgence. So, Agnidhra. So these 7 principles of the Ritvijas are those that conduct the yajna. There is a yajna happening inside the body all the time. Inside the body, there is a yagna that is happening. Outside the body, there is a yagna that is happening all the time. And in between, the ritual that is conducted is the yagna. Don't think and listen to all these people saying, you do this yagna, you will get this benefit and all of that stuff. That may be true, but our focus should not be on that. Our focus should not be on how you get enticed into the, you do this, you get this benefit. Then it is not yajna, because sacrifice doesn't look for return. If you do a yajna and then you say, I want to sacrifice something, once you give something, it doesn't belong to you. So how can you then say, let me get this benefit, and this guru, that guru? They will say, you come and pay this many number of thousands of dollars. I do this yajna, then you will get this benefit. That is all the level of spirituality that is immature, that is still enticing the lower mind. And similarly, when we look at our own life and how it operates, and when we are paying attention constantly to the indweller within ourselves and within everyone, what happens is we look at life as a yajna. Everything is happening. It has to happen according to the divine will. And therefore, the sun doesn't say, let me for today take a break and I won't rise. I'll just go on vacation today. What will happen to life on earth? That is sacrifice. Do not stop your dharma for the sake of anything. And that is the essence of this Saptatvija, the mantra that we just finished in 23 is Saptaritvijaha Surya iti Acharyah Tesham Esha Bhavati. Saptadisho, then so from there the next mantra is actually starting. Saptadishaha Nana Suryah. In 7 directions, there are many suns that are present, that are in different directions. Saptadisho, 7 directions. 7 directions, as I mentioned in the last class. If you leave the east in the direction in which is rising, not counting into that, 8 minus 1 will be the 7 directions. Nana Surya. Many different suns are present. Sapta Hotara, please repeat. Sapta Hotara Ritvijaha.
Saptahotar Ritvijaha.
Deva Aditya E Sapta.
Deva Aditya Ye Sapta.
Tebhis Somabhirakshana Iti.
Tebhis Somabhirakshana Iti.
So Saptahotara Ritvijaha. Deva Aditya Ye Sapta. Tebhis Somabhirakshana Iti. Saptahotar Ritvijaha.
Saptahotar Ritvijaha. Saptahotar Ritvijaha.
Deva Adityaye Sapta.
Deva Adityaye Sapta.
No, let's correct.
Deva
I made a mistake. Deva Aditya Om Deva Adityaye Sapta.
Deva Adityaye Sapta. Deva Adityaye ये सप्त
तेभिः सोमाभिरक्षण इति
तेभिः सोमाभिरक्षण इति तेभिः सोमाभिरक्षण इति
सप्तहोतार ऋत्विजः देवा आदित्या ये सप्त तेभिः सोमाभिरक्षण इति
सप्तहोतार सप्तहोतार ऋत्विजः देवा आदित्या ये सप्त तेभिः सोमाभिरक्षण इति
सप्त होतारः ऋत्विजः देवाः आदित्याः ये सप्त तेभिः सोम अभिरक्षणः इति सप्तहोतारः ऋत्विजः the seven sons ruling the seven directions, they are the hota and the seven ritvija. So that is the simple interpretation of that. A sapta, these seven devah adityah are the divine, are the shining suns. And then this is mantra is like a prayer to Soma. O Soma, Soma, the Lord of Yagna is the Soma. Abhirakshanaha. Abhirakshanaha. May we be protected. Iti in turn, tebhihi by them. So Saptadisho Nana Surya, the previous line from the 23rd mantra, those in different directions, they are the Saptahotara Ritvijaha. There are also the conductors as well as the Ritviks. And Aditya e Sapta Deva. They are the seven are the divine sons, Adityas. And then the prayer is Somaha, O Soma, Soma, please protect us because of you are protecting us because of the existence of these seven sons. That is the essence of those mantra. Tadapyamnayaha.
तदप्याम्नायः
Tadapyamnayaha.
तदप्याम्नायः
दिग्भ्राज ऋतून करोति.
दिग्भ्राज ऋतून् करोति
तदप्याम्नायः.
तदप्याम्नायः तदप्याम्नायः
दिग्भ्राज ऋतून् करोति.
दिग्भ्राज ऋतून् करोति
Okay, there that Rutun, some people have put it as a halantam, but I don't think it is halantam. Rutun karoti, some people are chanting, but I believe it should be chanted as a Digbhraj Rutun karoti. That's the
Dig
Anuswara.
Oh, it's Anuswara? Okay. Digbhraj ऋतून् karoti
So,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Tadapyamnayah.
तदप्याम्नायः दिग्भ्राजरतूं करोति
Tat api amnayah. Tat api amnayah. Amnaya means it has been stated before. It's a reference, the Smriti. Whenever we use the word Smriti, Smriti means Vedas. Shruti, Smriti, Purana. So, Tat api, that the 7 directions have many suns. Amnayaha is also stated by the Vedas. Dik Bhrajaha, lightening up, lighting up the different directions. Dik Bhraja. Bhraja means shining forth. Shining all the different directions. Rutun Karoti. These 7 suns create the different seasons. This has already been stated before, no? Reference point. Tadap. Where did we get Sakanjanam? That mantras are saying how the Rutus are created by the 7 suns and by combination, permutation, mutations of permutation combinations of those 7 suns. Tatapi already Amnaya is stated by the Vedas. So that is so the 7, that there are several suns pervading the different directions is already stated by the Veda. And this mantra is therefore becomes a reference, a smriti. So that the Rutus are, we already talked about the inference of the Rutus, how they come into existence, what is the intent behind it. That is restated here. Etayaivavrita
एतयैवावृता
sahasrasuryataya
सहस्रसूर्यताया
iti vaishampayanaha.
इति वैशम्पायनः
Hmm. एतयैवावृता सहस्रसूर्यताया इति वैशम्पायनः.
एतयैवावृता सहस्रसूर्यताया इति वैशम्पायनः Oh, Mashruti.
Yeah. ॐ एतयैवावृता सहस्रसूर्यताया इति वैशम्पायनः.
एतयैवावृता सहस्रसूर्यताया इति वैशम्पायनः एतयैवावृता सहस्रसूर्यताया इति वैशम्पायनः
एतया एव आवृताः सहस्रसूर्यतायाः इति वैशम्पायनः. Vaishampayana is here, is the sage Vaishampayana. And that Vaishampayana declared that etaya eva means by these evidences avritah, it can be extrapolated that sahasrasuryatayah iti, there are actually infinite number of suns. You see, now there is another scientist here introduced as Vaishampayana. And this Vaishampayana Rishi is the one, he is now taking all the evidence together. This is the beauty of the incredible power of the Veda mantras. That there are not 7 suryas, there are infinite number of suns. Means what? So now that is modern science has shown that one sun, this galaxy has one sun that has the 9 planets associated with it. But there are infinite number of suns, there are infinite number of galaxies. Each galaxy has its own sun. Who is saying that? Vaishampayana said that. Etaya eva avrutaha Sahasrasuryataya iti Vaishampayanaha. Sahasra means not 1,000. Sahasra means infinite number of suns are existing. Infinite number of suns are existing is declared by this sage Vaishampayana. This Vaishampayana sage is a very prominent figure in the Hindu tradition for his significant contributions for both Purana, it means epics, and also the Vedic literature. He is born as the disciple of Bhagavan Vyasa, Sage Vyasa himself. The compiler of Mahabharata is Sage Vyasa. But Sage Vaishampayana is the one who has narrated the entire Mahabharata to King Janamajeya after he has been stung by this uh, snake episode, the curse with the snake episode, that he will be bitten by a snake, and the snake himself is Vasuki. No, sorry, Takshaka. So this Vaishampayana is the one that elaborated and narrated the entire Mahabharata epic. In addition to that, sage Vaishampayana, he is the one who was entrusted by sage Vyasa to spread Yajurveda. And Vaishampayana, there is a story behind that. Vaishampayana then transmitted this Yajurveda to his disciples, then leading to this Taittiriya school of Krishna Yajurveda. Now, there is all the story about this. Most of you probably know why it is called the Taittiriya. Taittiriya is said because, according to the legend, there was an incident involving his disciple Yagnavalkya, who, for lack of a better word, what is it? Then he was the one that disgorged the Vedas and other disciples, and then symbolized as the Patriges, that's the Taittiri. They absorbed it and then they vomited it, and therefore the name Taittiriya Samhita, Taittiriya Aranyaka came because they were vomited by these Tittiri birds, partridges. Anyway, why I am talking about that? Because this Vaishampayana is associated with Yagnavalkya, Sage Vyasa, then then his disciple Vaishampayana, his disciple Yagnavalkya, and then all the Taittiriya Brahmanaka, Taittiriya Samhita, and Taittiriya, this Sikshavalli, Bhruguvalli, Anandavalli, they are all related to that. So, this Vaishampayana in the Mahabharata, Sage Vaishampayana narrates the mythological origins of Aruna also in one of the Parvas. The first Parva means what we call Parva is in Telugu, I'm sorry, in English, Parva is maybe the first book or whatever. Sometimes it's very hard for me to get the English words very quickly. Maybe canto, I don't know. So in the first canto called Adi Parva, the story of Aruna is narrated by Sage Vaishampayana. So when you look at this Aruna Prishna, Aruna is also the name of the Aruna is the name of the charioteer of the Surya's chariot. Anyway, I won't get into that tale right now. The bottom line is, Sage Vaishampayana is the one that declared that there are infinite number of suns that are represented, not just seven, because he is the one that looked at, we are looking at one of the constellation of the suns. Surya Mandalas are infinitely replicated in the universe. How did that happen? Tasya Tasyaisha bhavati. Please repeat. Tasyaisha bhavati.
तस्यैषा भवति
यद्याव इंद्रते शतगुं शतं भूमिः
यद्याव इन्द्रते शतगुं शतं भूमिः
उत स्युः
उत स्युः
नत्वा वज्रिन्सहस्रगुं सूर्याः.
नत्वा वज्रिन्सहस्रगुं सूर्याः.
That is the 24th end of the 24th mantra, which is now going to get into how this Surya Mandala, which they started. If you look at the construction of the Surya Mandala, Arogo Bhrajapatarath Patangaha, Swarnaro Jyotishiman Vibhasaha are the seven Kashyaposhtamaha. Eighth is the Kashyapa. The eighth one doesn't leave the Mahameru. And then it goes on narrating that these eighth one, the sevens were witnessed by Panchakarna belonging to Vatshayana, Saptakarna belonging to Plakshisi. What I am doing, brothers and sisters, is I just don't read and assimilate. This is like a contemplation happens like this. Memorizing the mantra is one aspect of it. Once you memorize the mantra, that's the reason why we are doing the re-practice sessions. That practice sessions help you memorize the mantra. And then once you memorize the mantra, you have to contemplate what is the story behind it, what is the significance behind it, and how is that connection made. So therefore, knowing, understanding, and becoming aware. This the three mantras. You have to always. This is the Shravana Manana Nididhyasana is very simply put as knowing, understanding, becoming aware. We don't even understand. How do you understand a subject after you have memorized it? That SQ triple R. Scan, question, read, recite, retain. This is the process with which you have to learn the Vedas. Otherwise, what will happen if you simply listen to it, but you don't go back and actually chant the mantra? This will remain something that is very superficial, and you don't 99% of the time, I will assure you, when you go back and read the mantra, the meaning won't even come. Even for Rudra, it won't come. Even after you've chanted thousands of times, while you are chanting, you will not have the chanting happen. Ardhanusandhana purvakam madhyamaswarena. Ardhanusandha, ardha anusandhana purvakam. Anusandhanam. Integrating the meaning along with the chanting you have to chant. Namo hiranyabhave नान्ये दिशांच पतये namo namo vrukshebhyo harike. I'm chanting, actually paying attention to the meaning. 100%. Totally connected to that. Mind will not even deviate. It cannot go anywhere. That's how you tie the mind to the mantra. And then what happens? Even in the middle of this thing, some mantra will show up and start showing its form to you. It will say, hey, this is what I mean. This is what you should become. Now what happens is you are no longer chanting the mantra. The mantra is giving you its darshan. It's darshan. This particular mantra, Namo Hiranyabhagave, it's not by The coincidence I am mentioning that. That mantra is about Surya Upasana. Hiranyabahave, Senanye, Dishanchapate. If these kiranas, these rays that are coming from the sun, are like that of the golden shoulders of the sun extending his arms through the entire universe. The rest of the mantra is all self-explanatory. The ones you connect to the Vrikshebhyaha, Harikeshebhyaha, Pashunam Pate, all the things related to the functionality of the divine Surya, and all the functionalities associated with the 8 directions, all that will come right in front of your eyes. This is what the rishis do. This is what the sages did. They did tapas. And then he's saying, through my vision, like this Vatsa Mahamuni, we will come about, Vatsa Mahamuni will come again later on. Amazing. They don't simply say, they don't simply say, iti, Vaishampayana iti means, Vaishampayana did not take a book and start compiling a theory. Vaishampayana has therefore envisioned the galaxies that are representing infinite number of suns. How does that happen? Tasya Isha, Tasya Esha Bhavati. How is that? That is how that it has come into existence. This is how. Then now he is giving a formula of how it was visualized. Tasya Isha Bhavati.
तस्यैषा भवति तस्यैषा भवति
यद्याव इन्द्रते शतगुं शतं भूमिः
यत्याव इन्द्रते शतगुं शतं भूमिः
Excellent. Very good. Yeah, one more time.
यत्याव इन्द्रते शतगुं शतं भूमिः
One more time.
यत्या
Yeah.
ॐ
Yadya.
यद्या
Hmm.
ॐ यद्याव इन्द्रते शतगुं शतं भूमिः
Utasyu. Oh, sorry. Utasyuhu
उत स्युः उत स्युः
natva vajrin sahasragum surya aha.
नत्वा वज्रिन् सहस्रगुं सूर्या आह नत्वा वज्रिन् सहस्रगुं सूर्या आह
See what he's doing is not easy. Did you practice this mantras? Do you practice these mantras and come down, or you're listening first time and chanting?
I read today I read the first few. I read it, yeah, just to make sure I didn't
But
mess up.
okay. So, but still, you have to have that much concentration that you should not leave. That concentration is so critical. And sahasragum. So, as I was emphasizing on these practice sessions, there is no expert chanter that should not come to practice session. Don't kid yourself. You will. There is so much opportunity to perfect chanting that you can take syllables. You can now look at how the compounding of the consonant, how the visargas sometimes are omitted when followed by an vowel. Then what happens is your attention to detail. That attention to detail of the mind is so important. And then only the mantra will start getting etched in you. Then only you can chant artificial. A lot of people chant Rudram also. You just ask him what is the fifth yajus in the third anuvaka. Ask them what is the third yajus in the 11th anuvaka. Like that means the mind has so much attention to it. It's called eka dhara. It's like a dhara, taila dhara. It's like oil flowing, so constant, unbreaking. Mind should be unbreaking in its thoughts. And that is what is called 150 bits of attention span of the mind per second. A human being, at the most ordinary human beings, can use 20 bits per second. These rishis have 150. Like the rishi is not, I don't have to take Vaishampayana and all those guys. Swami Vivekananda had such kind of attention span, 150 bits per second concentration span. So much so that, I think I shared this before. Encyclopedia Britannica, I don't know how many volumes are there. If you say volume 2, page number 88, what is there? Swamiji used to tell. And that Swamiji, 39 years of that Swamiji is equivalent to 500 years of a person like me. 39 years of Swamiji is equivalent to 500 plus years of this body or this mind's concentration power. So, Natva Vajrin Sahasragam Surya, let's me chant. Yadyava Indrate Shatagum Shatam Bhumi Utasyuhu Natva Vajrin Sahasragum Surya Aha.
यत्याव इन्द्रते शतगुं शतं भूमिः उत स्युः नत्वा वज्रिन्सहस्रगुं सूर्या आह.
Good. What are the words behind that? Tasya esha bhavati. Yat dyavaha indra te shatam bhumihi utta syuhu na tva vajrin sahasram suryah. Tasya esha bhavati. What is tasya esha bhavati? The previous one. That there are infinite number of suryas as declared by Vaishampayana happens to because of the following. And therefore the mantra is now referring to Vajri. Indra is referring to Indra holding this Vajra Yudha, Vajri. Shuhu Yat. Now this is syntax. In the Veda mantras, sometimes what happens is the meaning is like in English, you write, in a systematic way, there will be a subject verb followed by all the noun, verb, and all those things. There is a structure, linear structure of English language. In Sanskritam and in some other languages, there is no linear syntax. You have to make the syntax by connecting the, sometimes it takes incredible attention just to focus on that only. You have to construct the syntax. And when you're constructing the syntax itself, you have to figure out what is the proper noun addressed here, what is the verb here, what are the adjectives here. That is for people like that have read and learned Sanskritam and with a guru and all that stuff, it is so easy. But for a illiterate like me, it is extremely difficult. Because I never learned any Sanskritam or Vyakaranam or nothing like that. I have to struggle to put that through. So Indra, that is holding this Vajrayudha, Yadyava, Yat, Natva, okay. Yat Dyavaha, Indra, Te. So Yat means that, Dyava, Bhumi, two things that are mentioned. Yat Dyava Bhumi. So your Indra, O Indra, your Dyavaha, infinite number, Dyavaha Shatam, Bhumihi Shatam. What do you do over them? You Utasyuhu. You are the one that is ruling over them. Hundreds and hundreds. Shatam, 100 means infinite. Sahasra, Shata. These words actually are not numerical numbers. Anantam Shataha. Sahasra also means infinite. Shatam means infinite. So the previous mantra is Sahasra Suryataya iti Vaishampayanaha. So now this beautiful description, not just one earth, infinite number of earths are there, infinite number of skies are there, and all these infinite number of suns, infinite number of earths, they are reigned or ruled over by this Indra. Utasyuhu. Now you understand the syntax, how the syntax is constructed. Utasyuhu, you rule over. Shatam, Shatam, hundreds or infinite number of. Dyavaha, Yat, Dyavaha. Dyava is the upper world. Bhumi is the earth or the lower world. Sahasram Surya. Okay, now what is saying, the next mantra comes with the, so Yat, Yat Dyava becomes Yadyava. Indra. Indra here is not the Puranic Indra. Indra is the supreme witness consciousness. And that supreme witness consciousness is holding or ruling or reigning infinite number of skies and infinite number of earths. Natva Vajri. Vajri is now referring to the Ayudham Vajri. Natva. Nat, na, okay. Natva iti. Natva iti. You indeed. You are the ones that is indeed ruling over all this infinite number of earths and the heavens, holding them together. So the previous mantra has put the reference of Vaishampayana. This mantra says that even those thousands are limited and they cannot even describe this glory of this supreme Virat Swarupi. Virat means all of this. If you look at this gross universe as the Virat Swarupi, who is pervading with hundreds and hundreds of heavenly worlds and earths. So there are essentially so here in this mantra, as I said, the Indra invoked here is not the Puranic Indra, as I said. Why? Because Puranic Indra is not ruling over hundreds or infinite number of heavenly and earthly worlds. But it also refers to that Indra as Vajri, the one who is holding the weapon of thunderbolt. So there lies the confusion. Vajri, while it means the one who is holding Vajra. Vajra means actually the diamond. Vajra is the thunderbolt. It is solid. It is unbreakable. It cannot be cut by any other stone. So here Vajri doesn't mean the thunderbolt. Vajri means the one who is holding this entire infinite number of worlds with his powers. How he holds those infinite number of powers, infinite number of worlds with his power. And what is that power of that Vajri will be described later. Uh, so what happens is, in interpreting these mantras, sometimes our tendency is, let me understand this, let me understand this. But sometimes that is the confusion of Krishna Yajurveda. That's why it's called Krishna. Krishna means dark or black. It's called Krishna because the meanings do not come in continuity. Sometimes the inner meanings are described elsewhere, not in linear sequence. So that's why when I was explaining who is this Kashyapa, who is this Soma, what are these seven, all those things, I keep on telling you guys, hold on to it. Don't jump. Keep looking at the mantra. Keep looking at the mantra. See it. Do it. See it. Do it. See it. Be it. So what's the time now? Oh, 2 more minutes. Yeah. So this next mantra is in a way the 25th mantra is the conclusion of the Surya Mandala. It's a very powerful mantra. Maybe perhaps, if I start explaining it, it will take a lot more time. Okay, so I think we will stop here and pick it up at the next class. So that is fine for today. Yeah. Okay, let's chant Yadakshara Pada Bhrashtam Pavani. Chant Yadakshara Pada Bhrashtam.
ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व सायीश्वरा अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व सायीश्वरा अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष सायीश्वरा हरिः ॐ तत्सत्
Sri Saishwara.
श्री सायीश्वरार्पणमस्तु.
Good. Okay. You're all blissed out. There are no questions today. Okay. This is a teaching, obviously, there are probably you are all assimilating this yet. So let us see if there are any questions from the floor. Vaishampayana, do your homework on Vaishampayana. You don't need to submit. I stopped posting quizzes because nobody really cares. The number of people doing the quizzes is dropping down. I said, why should I bother these people? They just come, time pass, Veda chanting. So there is no need to post more quizzes. Right. Okay. No questions?
Sairam, Brother Shekhar.
Yeah.
Uncle Shekhar, when you speak about sacrifice, can you explain to me, like for example, for maybe we're ignorant, when people go to Tirupati temple and they take off their hair, as in sacrifice before, maybe because they're ill or they're sick or, or something to that effect. So I can't quite understand why they do that or what is it? Can you please explain in that terms?
No, that's not sacrifice. No, that's not No, that's not sacrifice. That's called business deal.
Business deal.
It's called a business deal. It's not a sacrifice. They don't do sacrifice. They go to God and say, you do this for me, and then I'll come and give my dirty hair to you. Then that is not sacrifice. How can that be sacrifice? It's called business deal. 99% of religion is all about business deals. I do this, you give me something back. Okay, that's not business deal. Sacrifice is what? Sacrifice is that which you do without expecting anything in return. Huh? That's what is called yagna. So when you do something, when you act something without any expectation or any um, expectation of an outcome, that is called sacrifice. Huh? So people going to Tirupati, giving their dirty hair, breaking coconuts in temple, doing this yagna, that yagna, collecting money. They're not yagnas, they're called business deals. I give you this mantra and you give me back $500. That's no it's a business deal. You understand? Why do you call that sacrifice? I'm curious. Uh, they're not
I think that
sacrifices.
growing up,
Sacrifice.
Sai, yeah. I think growing up and the concept that we were taught or by our parents or whatever it is, that people used to go because they were sick or they ill, and if they got better, they would offer their hair. I couldn't quite understand why they would do that. So that's why I was wondering now,
Ah,
what is this?
no, no. This God is so kind. He will he will give you what you want, and if you have a deal with him, no question about it. He's very smart. You know, it all depends on what your thought is. You tell him, I will give you a kiritam, you give me some this thing, he will do that also. That God, there are gods that do that. I'm not denigrating that. Please understand this. There are positive forces in the atmosphere that will respond exactly in concordance with what your intent is. There is no question about that. There are even lower demigods and gods like that are invoked through tantric ways of invoking those energies, and they will come and deliver whatever you want them to deliver. 100%. 100%. There are people that use those powers to actually materialize things also, and it will come into your hand. But it is all done because of a motive behind, and those gods will respond. But then when you look at Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, uh, he doesn't, his materialization is not called materialization, it's called Vibhuti. It's 100% total synchronization of his thought, word, and deed. So that is a different phenomenon. So, yes, you pray to certain gods, they will definitely they'll definitely give you what you want, and then you go break a coconut, they'll definitely do that. No question about that.
Sairam Uncle
Okay.
Shekhar, it's Brenda. What about carrying kavadi? Is that the same thing? Is that a business deal, or is that is it okay to do that?
Look, okay, I know you are asking these questions because of the word yajna that is used and the ritviks or the ritvijas. These are great questions, okay? So, what you do as a ritual for invoking a benefit back, your intent, that is not sacrifice. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
The word sacrifice means an act, an unselfish act, a totally selfless act without any attention to the result or expectation of a result, only in pure love. That is what is called sacrifice.
Thank you.
And
I understand.
and yeah, so and the context of that to Bhagavan Surya or the sun is that the sun is shining without any selfishness whatsoever. And in doing so, it is unconditional. The sun does not say, I will only shine on the people that pray to me. I will only shine on the people, only the good plants, not the bad. Nothing like that. It's unconditional. It is unbound. It is selfless. That is what is called sacrifice. That's all I want to say. And
Thank you,
that
Saira.
when you live that life, that is what is the sacrifice. And in today's context, even mother's love is prone to attachment. and expectation and all of that stuff. But the Divine Mother's love is never prone to any expectation. It's unconditional. It gives, 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 and forgives. That's all what I wanted to say. Okay, let's see. There is a question. Okay, you tell the question, Baji. What is the question?
Okay, Sai Ramanna, is there any inner significance to this mantra that we are talking about infinite suns present, right? Not the seven suns that we have referred it as seven pranas within us. What about this infinite suns, Anna? Is there anything that we need to contemplate internally?
Stay tuned. Next mantra.
Sai Ramanna, thank you.
Stay tuned. Okay. Next mantra will go into that. That's why I didn't want to teach the next mantra. It's a very beautiful, powerful mantra. So all this will come into, as the Aruna Prashna does, it starts with question, answers, more contemplation. Then at the moment you think that the sun is the seven suns and then there is a Kashyapa, they will not let you get bound to that idea. It takes you from the limited to the unlimited to the abundant to the infinite and beyond infinity. So that is the beauty of Veda mantras. Everywhere you see that. Every mantras, the moment you say this, then they say, no, 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 this is not it. This is very limited perspective. Then they'll take you to the higher level, take you to the higher level. That is the beauty of the teaching of, that's why it's called epistemology, timeless epistemology. All of you must listen to that University of Cape Town talk if you have not already. University of Cape Town talk, all of you must listen. Your perspective about Vedas completely changes. Completely changes. You will stop looking at this kavadi, givadi, all this stuff from a only ritualistic perspective. It will open you to a new horizon of awareness. And that new horizon of awareness is unlimited. It is infinite. It is abundant. It is, and therefore it is called omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence. Okay, Jai Sai Ram. ॐ स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. The word, as I was talking, as I was saying, samastalokaah sukhino bhavantu, that actually describes everything that we are talking about. We are thinking samastalokaah sukhino bhavantu means because of the lack of awareness of whoever has translated it, their awareness is limited about that mantra. They write, may all the beings in all the worlds have happiness and peace. That's how they write it in English. That's atrocious. It's atrocious because it's is the interpretation of that samasta lokah sukhino bhavantu is much grander in awareness than may all the beings in all the worlds have happiness and peace. There is no happiness at all in the context of what that mantra is saying. The word happiness doesn't exist in Sukha, does not mean happiness. So that's how as Swami says in actually Annamaya said, Yantamatramuna yavaru talachina antamatrame neevu. Whatever is your limited awareness, to that limited awareness only, that infinite awareness can be comprehended. As you go deeper and deeper into it, it will be. So, samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Jai bolo Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki.